Herkese selam, ben Didem. Kanalıma hoş geldin. Bir önceki videoda yazılım öğrenmenin yazılım mühendisleri için avantajlarından bahsetmiştik. Ve daha sonrasında da Maya hocayla Flalingo üzerinden bir ders ayırtmıştık. Bugün işte dersi yapacağımız gün 2 dakika sonra Maya hocayla Zoom üzerinde bir bağlantı gerçekleştireceğim. Keyifli izlemeler.
Hi, how are you? Hi.
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Nice. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah. I can hear you, but I have the picture of you in front of me.
Yes, excuse me, because I have two cameras and I have to fix them.
It's
I
okay.
have to choose.
It's okay.
I have to choose which camera I'm going to use. Just a second, please.
It's
Okay.
Okay.
Allow my camera. Very well. Hi. Hello.
Oh my God,
How
you're
are you?
beautiful. How are you?
You're okay. You're beautiful too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Since this is our first class, I would like to know, let's say, something more about you, about your level of English knowledge. I'm teacher Maya, and I'm a professor of English language, and I'm also professor of history. And I have been teaching for the past 5 years since I graduated and so on. But I would like to know something more about you, about your level of English knowledge, and actually the ways in which we can improve your English. Since this is our first class, the first thing that I always say, because I'm talking too much, I'm always blah, blah, blah. They call me blah, blah, blah teacher. So I would like to say to you, for example, the primary purpose of English language teaching is conversation, because in conversation, we actually process the language. But however, I'm actually the type of teacher who likes adding additional materials. Maybe you are introduced with it. I'm sorry, because I'm always talking too much.
No, it's okay.
Maybe you are familiarized with it. Our Flalingo platform is actually...
I am not actually, yeah.
Offering English file. But I would like to tell you that I, as a teacher, I have my own personal books, because I have been teaching and following Cambridge and Oxford program. And I have a series of books, and all of these books, I'm actually sharing them with my students. They are on my Google Drive, so I can send you some useful books, for example, Cambridge vocabulary, which can be useful when it comes to English teaching. Because I'm sorry, but I'm the type of teacher who likes to use 50 books and a lot of materials.
Like they're most of them like grammar books, or they're more like novels, because I have one novel I'm reading right now. I started reading this book. Like, I'm not really expert or fluent in this field in English, but I'm trying step by step, like trying to learn, read like this.
Yes, I apologize, because I'm the teacher whose hair is never under control. My hair is never under control, and I really have to look nice for my students and so on. So mostly what we practice here, it's teaching, but with conversation. But also, you know what, if we're talking every day about, let's say, general English and so on, then we are repeating constantly the same words. That's why I always like giving lessons from different materials. I like using also news, for example, some news from native speaking articles, like the most beautiful beaches in the world or the most beautiful parks in the world. So something, because books are always adapted, they are adapted to the level, to particular level, intermediate, upper intermediate, advanced. But when it comes to native speaking articles, they just give you the language as it is. So I have to tell you, grammar is important for tests. I can correct in conversation. I use Google Translate to type the corrections, and then I send the picture to my students. And I also give a lot of additional materials because I believe that books should be free, that knowledge should be free.
Yeah.
And if I can share my personal collection of books with my students, I'm going to do that. These are links from Google Drive where you can download them. There are a variety of books because I was teaching variety of students. I was teaching medical students, chemical engineers, electrical engineers, IT experts, technical vocabulary, but also general English.
Like,
phrases.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What would you suggest, like, for a newbie? For example, I want to learn English. I want to start from the beginning. Should I have daily conversations on platforms like Flalingo, or should I study grammar, or should I memorize new words, like type them and then try to memorize them? Like, what is the best way?
Well, let me tell you honestly, I'm trying to log in into my Google account, because from my Google account, I will actually, I don't know what's this, but okay, doesn't matter. I will find my Gmail. Doesn't matter. I wanted to log into my Gmail to show you some of the materials that I recommend. I have to tell you, as a teacher, honestly, I recommend everything.
Yeah.
Everything that you told. But when it comes to learning, let's do it like this. I have different types of students. I have students whose, let's say, conversational abilities are on higher level than listening comprehension. Because first, when it comes to English, we have 4 skills: listening, speaking, writing, reading. Sometimes reading comprehension is more developed than, let's say, grammar. And this is what's preventing my student to gain C1 level at some test and so on. But I have to tell you honestly, I'm an English professor, but I learned my English when I was a child. I learned it without any program, without any book, without how did I learn it? By exposure to the English language.
Exactly.
Because when we're listening, we're actually catching these phrases. I was B2 level 6 years ago, and then I studied, and then, I had to improve my grammar. I had to improve my knowledge in order to gain C1 level. Of course, I did it at the university, but I was speaking English even before that. Why? How? We catch the phrases. People who have linguistic intelligence, they catch the phrases faster. Please never compare yourself with somebody else, because we are all different individuals. And according to the modern standards, I have to tell you that I, as a teacher, I have to adapt my methods to your needs. I have students, baby students, who are only interested in minions. So I have to use minions. I have to find lessons with minions to adapt them to the needs of my students. If my student likes talking about general English, we're going to talk about general topics. We're going to talk about fashion. From time to time, I have to mix grammar. Because grammar, just like when you're learning, I'm sorry, I'm speaking too much.
No, it's okay.
Because this
I'm learning too much, actually. It's okay.
It's okay. I love students. I love students who love to speak. What I want to say for beginning, for example, when you're learning dance moves, or karate moves, and so on, when you're learning it, you practice the moves until they become automatic. Because when you're dancing, you have no time to think about them. It's only automatic. The same thing is with grammar. If you're practicing grammar with the time, it will become automatic, because when you speak, you have no time to think about grammar. I can correct you, but it will come into one ear and it will come out on another ear. So at the same time, I can correct, but I have to give you an explanation and exercise. Why did I correct that? Why did I do that? Why did I correct I am? Not I are. Let's say I'm taking the basic example, but I am. So by mixing and maxing, and matching all of these elements, I believe that you can improve English. There is no such thing as a perfect method, and there is no such thing as a perfect book. Let me show you something. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay, like it's a little bit of everything, like reading, listening, practicing.
Exactly. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I guess I will remove this and I will go to Gmail. Gmail sign in, login or sign in. Okay. When I log into my Gmail, okay. Yeah, but Google Mail, where is
Gmail?
Mail?
It was Gmail.
Yeah, finally. Google Mail. Then I'm going to add what I wanted to say. I'm going to add like this extension to here because what I need directly is Google Mail. And this is the most important thing for me. Okay, Google Translate comes last and so on and so on. Okay, there is a mail, but in this mail, there is my Google Disk. This is what I wanted to show you. Here's my collection of, let's say, 300 books. The first thing I'm going to send you is link of this book. Okay. Let's say English vocabulary in use. It's Cambridge program. It's something that I really like. Why? Because you see, there are different topics, different lessons, let's say clothes. And when we click on clothes, you have new words. But do you know what's the point? The point is that I'm simply trying to practice the new words in these exercises. Because this is the thing I want to tell you. If you have a new words, take your favorite notebook. And if you have one new word, if you're doing just like this, just like a parrot, learning new word, they will come in one ear, get out on the other ear. Yeah. You won't remember anything. But if you take your favorite notebook with teddy bears and hearts, take a pen, write a sentence with that new word. Try to use the new word that you learned. Then it's going to stay in your memory.
How about this? Like, I use Notion as a book. Like, should I really physically write it? Do you suggest that? Or I should just use the Notion?
Let me tell you something. I was teaching small students and also adult students. I was teaching business English. I have all different topics. You see, why are we forcing little children to write, to copy the text? Because as they write, motorics, you're using motorics, your brain is giving like an order to your hand to write it. When you write it, it stays better in your memory because you used an effort to write that new word. That's the thing. This is how we remember. Okay, I know in modern days we have typing, but old methods, old book will always be the basis of education. And it's simply like that. We can add interactive materials. It's super great to add interactive materials. That's something that I can say to you. But what I want to say, adding a book, adding writing, it's going to help you. It's definitely going to help you even more and so on.
Like from now on, I'm going to do this one. This is better.
Exactly. But there is one thing that I would like to recommend to you. I'm going to send you the link. Okay. There is a program called Grammarly. And Grammarly, there is a free extension, checking your text. So if you want to make sure if you use the right word in a correct way, type in Google Translate, type it, Grammarly will correct it, and you will correct what you need because what's necessary, it will be corrected. Because I have a secret to tell you. English language historically is a mix of 5 languages. Celtic, Anglo-Saxon, Latin, French, and Old Norse, which is practically German. I gotta tell you something. There is a story from Middle Ages, Beowulf. And what do you think? How do you say there is Old English, Middle English, modern, like English of the new age, and contemporary English language, which has been modernized through centuries? Who let the dog out? Who let the dogs out?
Mm-hmm.
Who Let the Dog Out? There is a song. I think it was pretty interesting. It's an old song. Who let the dogs out? Who?
Yeah, I
Who?
remember this
Who?
one.
But
Yeah.
what do you think? How do you say who let the dog out in old English, Middle Age English?
I have no idea.
Whom hath released the hounds out? So it's practically German.
Oh my god.
English or Middle Ages, it's practically German. Now, why am I saying this to you? Because as a teacher, I want to make sure that I give you the right equipment to learn.
Mm-hmm.
There is something in English language. I have to tell you a secret, and I apologize because usually in introductory classes, I'm blah, blah, blahing about the things to prepare my students for what is about to come. There is a thing in English language. It is called word formation.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I feel happiness. Happiness is a noun.
Yeah.
It's an object. It's an object. But I am happy. It's adjective. Happy is adjective. I cannot say I am. Okay, I can say I'm happiness. I'm happiness for my mom, for my sister, and so
for
on.
Everyone around me.
But from context to context, you have to change the forms of words.
Mm-hmm.
And there are no rules. The only thing I can suggest to you is when you learn the new word, check if that word exists in verbal form, adjective form, adverbial form, so that you get the consciousness and get the feeling how to change these words.
Yeah, like when you see the past tense of the word, like you're not surprised, right?
Exactly. For example, it's not the same to say I fired somebody and I was fired. It's passive form. This means that somebody fired me or I fired. And this is what my students often have problems with. There are no rules. Trust me, tenses are easier to learn. Much, much, much easier to learn than this. Because here you have to create the sense. How do you create that sense? There's only one answer. By exposing yourself to the English language, by listening. So listening, and Netflix is your homework.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix is your homework with English subtitles. Now, my student, please excuse your teacher because I was blah, 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 blah. Sometimes I need to shut up and let my students tell me something about themselves, your hobbies, anything. I just need to hear your English. But before you start, I have to tell you something. From the sentences you said so far, I would say that you are B2 level. You are very, very close to C1 level. I can see that you have learned English since early ages, because when you start speaking, I can see that the easiness with which you speak, when you speak, you process the language. The easiness you're speaking with is wow.
Thank you.
The second thing, the accent. English accent, you have it. So please tell me something more so that I can diagnose it.
Okay. I am a software engineer. I studied software engineering, and I had this 1 year of learning English, like prep school. And this is how I started with learning English. And then I had 4 years of full-time English school again. And like my lessons were in English, my exams were in English again. And then in that time, I had 3 hours going to the school and coming back home studying. Like I have this 3 hours spare time, and what I did in that time was listening to podcasts. Like the podcast name was Risk. It was about telling the bold stories that people are afraid of sharing with the public, and I listened to it, And then
Mm-hmm.
I was reading. I was constantly reading, listening. I was exposed to English, like you said, because what I was doing at that time was, um, I had a breakup with my boyfriend, and I listened to this YouTube videos about breakup thing, like everything about English. Like I wasn't searching in my own language even. Yeah, like this.
I can tell you only one thing. There's only one thing that I can tell you. I can see that you have been highly, highly exposed to the English language. I hear good English. I really, really hear good English.
Like I'm a bit nervous.
No, please, because in my country, I gotta tell you, I'm professor of English. I can even, you know what I like. Sometimes people ask me, sometimes people like to check, so I always hold my diploma.
I totally understand it.
Ouch, now my finger was hit and so on. So I'm always doing it like it. I'm from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and you know, I have to tell you something about myself. I learned English in a similar way because, you know, when I was small, I'm 33 years old. But yeah, now I'm like, you know, already close to 40s. It's not comfortable,
You're
honey.
looking like 20s. Like definitely.
You know what? I have a lot of students. I have a lot of students and also baby students. So this is a kit for baby students and animals and so on. So always I have to give you some heart. Barbie hearts. Yeah. For the compliment. Thank you, my student.
Like I definitely can see the passion you have for teaching. Like it's amazing. I want to say that.
I don't know. You know what? I love it because few days ago, you know, when you're teaching, you always have to research new materials. Because I have to tell you, I have never seen a book which is a perfect book. Some books, let's say Cambridge Vocabulary is okay for vocabulary. But then it's not okay for grammar. Then I need grammar book. And then one grammar book has, let's say, program which is not so nice. But in any case, it is fun because when my students have good answer, I always give them some reward for their good answer. So here's a sandwich, hamburger, here's an ice cream. And I had a 7-year-old student. He told me, teacher, I'm afraid of your ice cream because ice cream has only one eye.
Like kids are.
Yes, exactly. And we usually find a lot of common topics, for example, based on tourism. Some of my students even like talking about history or politics because I'm also a history teacher, even though I don't prefer politics, but history is nice. Historically saying, I have to tell you the truth, you know, my country was part of your country for hundreds of years. You know, we were one country. Yeah. And then on a cultural level, we still preserve the culture and the spirit. You know, if you go, let's say, to Sarajevo, you will find the market. And this market looks exactly like market in Istanbul. And we still cherish traditional food, traditional clothing and customs and everything. While I got the information from my other student that people, young people in Turkey, they want to follow Western trends. They don't like burek anymore. They go to McDonald's or baklava, burek, you know, traditional coffee.
I love baklava, by the way. Like, it's amazing.
Oh.
Yeah,
I love. We are eating from sofras, our traditional nannies, because I had a student and Eileen, and we compared our nannies, pictures of our nannies, and they look the same. The clothing is the same, and so on. But why I started talking about it? Yeah, in my country, historically, there was a war 30 years ago. So I had to go away. And then I was growing up in refugee centers in Budapest, Vienna, Hamburg, and also Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also Sweden, Gothenburg, and Malmö, and so on. But as a child, I had the right to attend free programs, free English programs. So I was exposed to the English language, and I started speaking English when I was 7.
Oh,
So,
it's a very early age. Like, you're lucky.
yes.
Definitely, it's your luck.
Yes, because children, they're like sponge. They're like sponge. Just expose yourself to the language and then you will get it. But I gotta tell you, learning of English language depends on linguistic also intelligence, because some people are intelligent for math, talented for math, for music, sport, languages. If you have been exposed to the English language for a longer time, I can tell you that you definitely have linguistic intelligence. Because if you learn before 14, you don't have to be talented. You're a kid and you just pick up.
Yeah.
After 14, this is a talent.
Exactly.
This is a talent.
Yeah.
Because
like
your pronunciation, the way you speak.
Exactly. Like, my mom also started learning English, and she's having some hard time, but she's doing good. Like, she is not gonna let it go. Very passionate about it. So yeah, it's talent. It's hard. Like, after some age, it's hard to memorize things. Like, it's hard to find the passion to learn something new. Like, even something new, not English.
Exactly, but I can say that you are definitely talented. I also picked up some Spanish because my mom, when I was a child, was watching Spanish telenovelas, soap operas. Ay, te quiero, yo no te quiero, yo soy tu madre, yo no soy tu madre. And, I am your mom. Hi, honey, I have a seat. Spanish soap operas are always crazy. First of all, they're crazy. They are always organized around some rich family. So there is some extremely rich family and extremely poor family. And then some girl from poor family finds out that she's a child of a rich family.
Yeah.
And then there is love. And then usually
it's like a Turkish movie.
In each soap opera, you have some big house and big stairs. And then, on the top of the stairs, somebody's listening, to the conversation. Ay, muchacho, yo tengo una secreta, sí.
Like, I had this time, I was trying to learn Spanish too. And I have one sentence, which is, like, I still remember it. I want to tell you. It was te quiero porque no sos mía, porque estás del otro lado. It was from a Netflix movie, Dark Desire, and I love it.
Yeah. I have to tell you, this is why I wanted to ask you, do you speak any other languages except English?
No. It was just a little time I was trying to learn, but yeah.
But I love even your Spanish accent. You definitely have it. Can you understand Spanish, for example? And so on.
No, actually.
Okay. Quería decir que podemos hablar español, no es problema para mí, pero si tú quieres, pero si no lo quieres, no.
Like, I love the sound of it. Like, I love people talking Spanish, and it's really good. Like, when you listen, it's really good. It's smooth.
It's easy. And then I have to tell you, I have been trying to learn German for the past 8 years. I can speak basic sentences, but German is not catchy like English or Spanish.
It's,
exactly. Ja, es ist schön. Wir brauchen Deutsch für nach Deutschland zu gehen, Arbeit zu suchen. Ja, es ist schön. So, not catchy at all, and so on. When it comes to English, I have to tell you something. Our duty in classes is always to teach Oxford English. But I have to tell you something honestly. I would like to prepare you, but you know it. Oxford English is English of Oxford, universities, business conferences, because in English society, if you're able, the better English you speak, the better job position you get. Because can you imagine some rapper from the ghetto, yo, man, what's up, man, speaking like that in a business conference? Yo, we're here to do business. Yo, my man, give me the presentation of your multi-million. So we have to use the Oxford English for business conferences, tests, education. But I like to say it like this. I call all of my students honey, but honey, this is not the language of reality. This is not the language of the streets.
I get it.
So how can I gotta tell you honestly, I was learning my language from Eminem. I'm rapping
Really?
Eminem songs. Yeah, I can rap. It's not a problem. But okay, I don't recommend Eminem. But you can take your favorite singer. Where are you gonna hear this language, English language of every day? Movies, documentaries, podcasts, your favorite singers.
Yeah.
Take the text.
Nicki
of your
Minaj, maybe.
Exactly. Justin Bieber, okay, if you like it, or something else, take the text of your favorite singer. Listen to your favorite singer, how he's singing or she, and then try to repeat. Make a record of yourself to hear yourself. How do you sound? Try to use that phrasal verb, because in Jennifer Lopez's song, I Ain't Your Mama, you have a lot of slang.
Yeah.
Street expressions.
Like slangs are harder, even harder. Like I use AI tools to mostly understand the slang language. Like, because when you put a slang word or a phrase into translator, then you're not going to understand what it says, what it means, because AI can only make you understand what it really means, how people really use it in a sentence.
Bravo. And I have a similar problem, because when I'm teaching my students phrasal verbs, I'm going to send you the book of phrasal verbs. So I wanted to show you it's not only about the vocabulary, but when I'm teaching my students phrasal verbs, what I wanted to say, it's like this. Okay, so there's one book. My Google Translate is not able to translate it, but what I can do, I'm going to send you the link of my book. You can press here and download it. I just wanted to tell you, sometimes Google Drive blocks me, because of the books, but it's my personal book and I want to give it to my students. Copyright.
Thank you.
I will go to prison one day for copyright.
No.
But I'm risking it all for my students. So what I wanted to say, this is a phrasal word book. And as you can see, for example, phrasal verbs, they have to be explained. They have to be explained, for example, in the brackets. Because you see, stand by, phrasal noun. Okay, they're still working on phrasal nouns. You see, gonna, let's say, mucked up and so on. Hang around, explanation is number 4. Spend a lot of time with.
Like there are too many of them.
Exactly. And there's one more book I'm always sending it to my students. Always. This is something that is a must to combine in the process. It's 2 books of English collocations. How words work together for fluent and natural English. Yeah. Phrases or collocations.
That's
what is it actually? What is it actually? Look, you can say, we usually say in English, I'm watching TV. I'm watching. I'm not looking TV. I'm watching it. If you say I'm looking TV, native speaker will understand you, but the collocation is I'm watching it so that your language sounds natural.
Like
this is what
they will understand you, but they probably have this weird look on their face.
Exactly. Exactly what I wanted to say. So this is the thing. when it comes to English language. And this is why I, as a teacher, like to mix 300 books. Because sometimes topics in some books are boring. Sometimes I can find a topic about, I found a topic of native speaking article, big villa. There was a big villa in California, 42 million. I mean, no, it's cheap. It's definitely not expensive. And it has like it has Shark Tank in it. So the guy who was building the villa thought about having a shark, as a pet. And it's a native speaking article. It has, for example, the button to play for listening a native speaker, how the native speaker pronounces the words. But it's interesting topic, and I cannot find it in any book. Books can be boring.
Yeah.
But, I can teach you tenses, but it's not the point for me. I can give you grammar exercises on tenses, but then I want you to think about the sentence. Why do we use and when can you use that tense? To tell me something with past simple or past perfect. Or something like that. So
yeah,
that's
I actually have no idea. Like, how would I make it past perfect or something? Because I'm not very good at grammar. Like, really, I don't remember these stuff. These stuff are very old for me.
Don't worry, because when it comes to grammar, I have to reveal you a secret. First, I'm going to send you Microsoft Word document. It's a document from my professor at the university. And unfortunately, she's not alive anymore, but she was the best expert on grammar in the whole country. And what I wanted to say, you know what? There is a thing that I need to explain to my students. And when I explain it, they understand it better. I can give you the definition of present perfect, let's say. And it will be ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. You learn the definition and you never use present perfect in your speech. That's usually the consequence.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you something. When you start thinking like this, okay, in our languages, we have present, past, and future. Present, past, future, and so on. So what I'm trying to say, English people, they also have present, past, and future, but they complicate even more. It's grammar, and they have to complicate because in Britain, everything is complicated. Comparing to Americans, I'm going to send you the video of Americans who can't grammar. Americans from Texas, howdy do, boy. Hey, Froggy, are you a cowboy? I ain't gonna do that.
Amazing imitation skills you have.
Exactly. And then you have ghetto English, the second, Americans who have a group who has problem with English because yo, girl, who you be with, where you at, and so on.
What you up to?
What you up to? There's no grammar. There's no grammar. I can rap like Eminem, if you had his palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, this woman on a sweater already, mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs, but he keeps on forgetting what I was doing to crush the language. I was repeating after Eminem. And I started like that.
So. I had this time I was learning English and one word was not, I didn't understand the word and I tried to ask it to a Native American. And then he was like, I don't know this. I never heard of this word. They don't know everything.
I gotta tell you something. In their speech, many of them don't know the names of tenses.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. When I asked my neighbor, she's a native speaker from Australia. When I asked her, okay, I mean, when do you use present perfect? She said, what's present perfect?
Yeah.
But why did you use it? She said, because it sounds better, like that. Please don't have any anxiety, any complex, any stress, because I hear even native speakers making mistakes. My American friend, he has a PhD in history. Each week I'm speaking to him for 2 hours to improve my English. He's a native speaker. But a few days ago, my friend said, I buyed. I bought. I'm a grammar teacher. I bought it. He said, I bought. Native speaker making a mistake. Also, I don't know if you ever have you ever heard about American presidents having problems with prepositions?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Mr. Bush.
Which one? Like Joe Biden? Trump?
No, Biden. I'm going to share a screen. I'm sorry because this is video over video, so maybe you won't be able to hear a sound, but let's go to YouTube. Let's go to YouTube and let's go like this. Americans can't grammar. Can't grammar. There is a video. So this guy, this is a 1 minute video. This guy is trying to kill himself because he's a Frenchman and he can't speak to his British girlfriend Becky. And now somebody tells him stop Didier. Didier, he's really from France.
Okay.
Who is this? I'm God. God, I'm an atheist. Besides, you have Indian accent. So this is Indian God, Vishnu, talking to him. How can I help you? My English is too bad. I can't speak to Becky. Don't worry. Even regular Americans can't do grammar. And now, how do, Froggy? Looks like, hello. He ain't understand the word I've done been saying. Which grammar tense is this? I have no idea. The first group of people. The second group are rappers. Yo, the middle passage was no little passage. Just a second, am I sharing my screen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because sometimes I forget to share my screen.
I was dancing.
So, what's with the master ate sausage? He changed my language, blah, blah, blah. But Vishnu, I'm not a rapper. Look, even US presidents can't grammar.
That's interesting.
Bigly. Oh, you're working hard to put food on your family. Honey, we don't put food on our family. We put food on the table for our family, not on our family. To put food on the family is like to take milk and put it on the head of your family.
Did he really say it?
Yeah, you're working hard. Here it is. You'll see. You're working hard to put food on your family.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you see? I mean the subtitles. Then Bigly. Bigly. Bigly doesn't exist.
What is Bigly?
Bigly. And George Bush, misunderestimate.
Like he is generating new words for the public.
Underestimate. So please don't be under stress because even native speakers are not perfect. I mean, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
One thing we have in our country, we have a university, very strong university, Birch University from Turkey. We have it in our country. And I was participating Birch University conference of International Conference of Foreign Language Teaching and Applied Linguistics. I was working, there is in psychology, there is separate type of anxiety. It is called second language anxiety. It blocks you. If you have stress, it blocks you. So you can't speak, you can't learn.
Exactly, because when I try to speak with a native, and then I start to forget the words I know, like I stop thinking. Yeah.
Well,
anxiety.
Just remember this video. I'm going to send you the link to this funny video. I'm going to send you the link to all of my books, which you can download simply so that you can have it, because I'm sharing my book collection with all of my students. Because I can't tell to my students, go and buy 10 books or something like that.
That's very good of you. Thank you.
Flalingo is one of the best platforms the best platform I ever worked for, because I'm available for you in the chat, and you can always, reschedule and so on. And there's also option to ask a teacher if the teacher is available and so on. We're actually, how should I say, available for our students 24/7. There's a diversity of teachers. All of us have our own teaching methods and so on. So plus I am allowed to have the natural approach to adapt my methods to the interests of my students, which means if you like football, if you like artificial intelligence, we're going to read about it and so on. And I can send you the materials and so on. But please, no anxiety, no stress. Stress is blocking you.
Exactly.
Just remember George Bush. Remember George Bush.
Oh my God.
Or Trump. Remember Trump. Bigley. He doesn't want to stop. Bigley, I beat her, Bigley.
That's great. I definitely will remember him.
Yeah, exactly. So please, no stress.
I got blush. Like, can I generate a word blushy like him?
I'm blushing. Yeah, ing is possible. Sometimes
no,
it's
blushy with a Y.
Okay. What I can say to you, I'm also learning with my students. There's not a single day that I don't check a word, because to learn a language, it's a big process. And you can go step by step, but you're going in the right direction. And keep on going.
Thank you.
Next time I will make you talk more, because this time introductory classes I always have to explain our school, our platform, and so on, blah blah blah.
I really like your style, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. In the chat, for example, in the chat I can find you. Here you are, and okay. For example, I want you to have this book collection. I'm going to copy the link, and I'm going to copy it here, and so that you can download it,
Okay.
Click on it and download it, because I simply want to give what I have to my students. And I will write which book is which book, English collocations and so on. I also have this Microsoft Word document, which will make your grammar easier, because we have to think about the nature of the action in order to apply it. Whether the action was long or short, this is simply how it is. So in English, I can say, I ate a banana. Okay, this is not a banana. Yummy, yummy. I was eating banana. If I want to say to my native speaker that this action of eating banana took 5 minutes because the banana was green and I wanted to eat it, it was the only thing in the house to eat. So there's a reason why we use particular tense. There's a reason always. So this is how English people think. We have to think like them to
produce the sentences they produce every day.
Yeah. It's hard, but nobody's perfect. We can try. We can try and so on. So
it's great to meet you. Thank you.
Great to meet you too. Next time, whatever you like to focus on, grammar, vocabulary, conversation, hobbies, texts, gossips, anything, politics, Elon Musk is also our topic.
He's a toxic leader.
Well, at least we have PayPal and eCoin. Invest in eCoin. I don't like cryptocurrencies. I don't like that.
I don't trust them. Like, I don't trust them. I publish courses on how to use them, how to deal with them, but I never buy it.
Yes, I never buy it because one coin is like 25, Bitcoin is like how much? 25,000 euros. Yeah, I have some spare 25,000 euros in my pocket. I can buy it just like that. I don't trust it. We can invest in real estate. You know, the bricks. I trust in bricks.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Gold, bricks, and so on. Hey, thank you so much for this class, and it was a pleasure to meet you. Check out the chat, download the materials. I always have something new, and see you whenever you can and whenever you're free. We're always here and available.
Thank you so much.
So
see you very soon, in a very soon time.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.